Hey guys, I'm back. I just recorded a pretty long video, and I forgot about the audio issue I have where I have to unplug my headphones. So I'm redoing it just because why not? It's just gonna be a longer video. It's very lightly scripted, but I think I've done this topic before, but not to this extent. I have done this topic before. I've touched on it on a few things I'm going to talk about in other videos, but I think that this is going to be a pretty good overall small guide. It's going to be why conversing is important and how to get better at it. I'm assuming a lot of people, hopefully, that are resonating or that are watching, hopefully, out of like the 4 viewers. So hey, um, if I'm hoping that the people who see this video are having this issue. But if you're pretty shy and you don't know how to talk, but you're kind of lonely, you're just feeling lonely, but you don't really want to talk to people because you're shy. Um, this is gonna kind of at least give a framework, you could say, to talking to people better. So first off, why conversing is important and why you should do it. You're gonna practically use it in everyday life. If you don't have to. If you just work like online, and then you get your groceries delivered, and that's pretty much it. You can do that, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. Maybe you'll feel lonely. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but um, first off, what you're gonna want to do is first off try. Also, another thing you're going to want to do is meet face to face. So texting people online and talking to people online is great, but there's certain other things that come with talking face to face. Certain things like eyes, eyebrows, like muscles around the face, and just general body, not behavior, body language. I knew it. Um, where it's like if you're just texting someone you can't really know, and you don't really know if they laugh at what you say or if they don't laugh, or it's just more muddied. You're just gonna want that more information. It's just kind of nice to meet up, but you probably have some hobbies because, well, you're alive. Maybe your hobbies are not great, like not great for social things. Like maybe you just watch YouTube all day, or maybe you just browse social media all day. That's not. I guess that is a hobby, but it's not very great hobby for conversing with others. So I'd encourage you to find a hobby with other people involved in it, even if it's a video game. Find a thing where where you can meet up in person. Maybe you've got a really like D&D meets up in person. They talk. That's fantastic. Um, Maybe you've got a gaming center you can go to talk to people. Fantastic. They're probably on your level if they're at the gaming center and you're at the gaming center. So try to talk to those people who are related to you. You're gonna want to talk about topics that you can at least that are safer, you could say. So it's like, oh, wow, X thing was amazing. Have it something about where it's like most people would say that's amazing. You're gonna want to at least find, if you're gonna do small talk, you gotta find something that is very common that other people can kind of like agree on, but not common enough to where it doesn't really matter. Like it's so everything is out there. Like grass is green. Yes, that's very obvious. That doesn't help with small talk whatsoever. But if you say like, "Oh, this type of grass, I think is interesting. It does X, Y, Z," that's at least better. Um, but um, you're gonna want to talk to. You're gonna at least want to try to be friends with people who are much better than you at talking. So the one guy or girl who's like, oh my god, they just talk so much and they can talk to anyone. Try to hang out with them more. You like by just simply being around them. They don't even have to teach you anything, but just by being around them, you'll pick up some cues and notice them and subconsciously just be better at talking with other people than if you never hung around this person. So try to be around that person more. Um, Also, if it's small talk, I don't really care who it is. If it's a person you don't know, man or woman, whatever, um, do not bring up anything sexual. It's just, well, it's up to you, but it's just very very tricky. That's like a very advanced subject. When if you're watching this video to learn how to converse, that's something you're just not ready for. It, it's it's not really big risk, big reward. It's just I guess medium reward, massive risk. Um, it's more of like flirting along those lines, or just really bad jokes that people really don't laugh at. Uh, if you're just meeting someone new, it's different. Like you might make a certain joke around people you know that they'll laugh at and they're fine with because they're kind of used to you. But if you just make that to a person who's never met you before, it might genuinely be funny, but they're so surprised by the actual joke that they're off put by it rather than actually think it's funny. So avoid things that are super out there. Like don't just like go up to someone and go, I think communism was fantastic. That might be your personal belief. Great. Do not do that in a conversation. Don't bring up anything controversial in small talk. Maybe you're that more unless you're more advanced with small talk. But here's another thing you could do to make it easier on yourself. If you're shy, try to get the other person to talk about themselves. I'm sure they have a hobby or something else. Try to get them to talk about whatever they want to talk about. The hardest part is finding that thing they like. Because it could be their job, it could be a different hobby, it could be this thing they did 10 years ago that they just really like. That's the hard part, is actually finding that. But if you can get them to do that, they'll talk like 80% of the conversation. And then it's really easy on you, the shy guy, to not really talk and still get better at conversing because you're still having a conversation. So try to do that. Also, you might, if you're super shy and you have all this social anxiety about it, just try to think of that other person as you. Like, I know that it was at least helpful for me, where just picture this has probably happened to you at some point where someone you don't know goes, hey, where is X location, and like where's Wendy's, or where's the library, and you go, oh, it's this way. You don't really, in that moment, you probably don't really care. You're just interacting with someone, and then when that interaction is over, it's over, and then you just kind of move on. So that is a great example of just very small talk. It's not full, in-depth, like full small talk, but it's just a great talking with someone, and it kind of gets you in that mindset of, hey, this person is just actually a person. It's not this big scary thing where if I mess up with talking, they're going to think I'm weird, and then everybody's going to think I'm weird. No, most people really don't care. How much you think about yourself is how much other people think about themselves. If you're probably shy, you probably overthink a lot. Other people do the same thing. It's completely fine to just mess up. So, and also the skill of conversing with someone is like kind of like exponential rather than if you graph it, it's not like this, it's more like this. So the more you do it, the faster you will get better at it. So like on if you're trying it for a few days, on day 2 you might, on day 1 you're gonna suck, on day 2 you might be okay, but on day 5 you'll be absolutely amazing. That's not realistic time scale, but the more effort you put into it, the faster you get, the faster and better you get. So I try to do that. Also, don't give really bad one word or two word responses. The other person can, because they're a person, can kind of sense if you're not trying in a conversation. And even if a person is very talkative, I know that I can be talkative at times, um, and I've been talking to like people who are more shy. Um, don't like actually try with a conversation. If you don't know what you're doing, and you don't really have any input to say, ask questions. Ask the other person questions. They're very easy. Like, oh, that's a great coat you have on. Where'd you get that? And they'll go some random thing. Um, oh well, where is that place you just said? Have you bought any other clothes there? Mm, or is it a store of some kind? Like, just ask questions. It's very low. It's not low effort, but it's a lot. It's somewhat easier to get the other person just to talk. Um, so maybe you could also, but about the hobbies thing, if you don't have a hobby, try to talk with your coworkers if you have a job, and if you don't have a job, try to find a job, I guess. Um, but also try to talk to people. Try to talk to people around your own age or older, just because if they're the same age, then they're probably more similar to you, and if you're similar, you have more in common, which makes it easier to talk. Um, I try to do that. Also try when I was talking about not giving the short responses, try threading, which is just giving them multiple subjects for the other person to pick from in one answer. So like I don't know, if you're talking about like Rubik's cubes, you go, and if someone like asks you, "Hey, have you done a Rubik's cube before?" If you and you just say yeah, that is terrible. That is a conversation killer. What you're gonna want to do is say, at least say something where they can pick a different subject to go off of. So, hey, have you tried the Rubik's cube before? Yeah, I wasn't so good at it, and then I got better. I can now do it in like 3 seconds because of consistent practice. Something, at least that's a little more meaty, they can kind of take apart. And I don't know if I'm meant. Yeah, I did mention it because I have it written down because the other video did not have audio. Um, I think I said all I wanted to say. Face to face meetups, threading, hobbies. Okay, so yeah, I'm just trying to find people around you who you can converse with. Maybe you think I'm just full of crap here and I'm just lying. So I don't know. I guess leave your thoughts in the comments. Just remember that everybody was as bad at you as at some point, because nobody starts with like, oh, they're amazing at conversing. It's a skill that they had to improve on. They just improved on it much sooner than you did. And maybe they're better at it than you are. It's also partially a very small genetic aspect, but it doesn't count for much. It's like maybe 5%, maybe. But I don't know. I think it's just a shame for people not to converse with others that well. Damn, I recorded for way longer than the first video, so I'm over and out. I Remember to be aware, analyze, and go conquer your day.